The empire of mind, the entire vision of mind. Actually, there are only two realities. One is God and there is mind. There is no third thing. God is infinite, mind is finite. Mind is finite, but it is open-ended. Open-ended in the sense, think of earth. And if you keep on moving, you can go on moving like circle. You can go on moving in a circle and it will never end. Circle is bound, circle is finite. But if you keep on moving on the outer ring of that circle, you can go on moving and it will never end. And you will see the circle is never ending. But circle is finite. Finite but never ending. Space, same thing, it's finite but never ending. Mind is finite but never ending. These are very basic things which we fail to understand, fail to realize, and that is why we suffer. God is infinite and God is also never ending. Space, mind, time, all these things are finite but never ending. They keep on repeating. And because we are not conscious, we feel that it is infinite. So it's finite, but it creates the sense of infinity. But what is the characteristic of mind? Three things. There will be space, there will be time, there will be causation. Space, time and causation. It creates the sense of space. Whatever the space outside, actually mind has its own idea of space. And it creates the sense of time. More importantly, it creates the sense of causation. And it keeps on checking with the external world to see if things are right. For example, supposing you are put to sleep, for a long time, you are unconscious. If you wake up, you will not have any sense of time because mind was not working normally. So what you do is, first thing is, you try to find out what is the date, what is the time, and then you correlate. And once again, mind starts working on the time scale. Similarly, space. You are sleeping and somebody takes you somewhere. Or for example, you are traveling by a train, express train. You sleep, say in Howrah in Kolkata, and you wake up somewhere in the morning. The first thing you try to find out where I am. Somebody will say you are somewhere near Mughal Sarai. No, it is Deen Dayal Upadhyaya or some other name. Or Allahabad or Kanpur. Then immediately your mind relates where exactly I am. So, and causation. What happened? Why happened? This relation of cause and effect, which is explained by Newtonian physics, the physics of Newton, where cause and effect are related. So these three things are the most important property of mind. Second very important thing is from causation. The moment there is causation, cause and effect, every effect is judged by the existence of mind itself. So mind decides whether it is good or it is bad for me. For example, fire. When it helps you cook, you say fire is good. And when it burns your house, you say it is bad. But fire is neither good, fire is nor bad. You are neither good nor bad. But my mind decides whether you are good or you are bad. So good and bad are necessarily trait of mind. Mind specializes in it. This is how mind works. But mind is finite, never ending. And master of mind is soul, Atman, God. They are all same, consciousness, pure consciousness. Now when you find persons like, great scientists like Dr. Roger Penrose and all talking about consciousness, or when you read lots of articles today coming where they are talking about consciousness, they are talking about mind as consciousness. Hindu religion, Hindu philosophy never looks at mind as being conscious. They see mind as being inert, which borrows the idea of consciousness from pure consciousness. Mind is actually inert. Something like this tube light. The tube is inert, the gas inside it is inert. When electricity passes through it, it becomes lighted up and it helps us see everything around. So we can see the tube, we can also see people all around us. Mind is something like that. Now, because we have grown up in this tradition of space, time and causation. Space, the three dimensions. Einstein added the fourth. For us, it does not matter whether it is a fourth or fifth or sixth dimension. We know that these are all play of mind. Time, past, present, future. So, and then we are talking about time traveling. We are talking about whether time is unidirectional. Does it flow only in one direction? And finally, everything that's happening around us, whether it's good or bad. Consciousness is beyond space, beyond time, beyond causation, that is beyond good and bad. Which means God is beyond space, God is beyond time, God is beyond being good or bad. Now this is where the discussion begins. God will always be beyond space. So what about Jesus coming as incarnation, or Krishna coming as incarnation? But God can never be confined in space. And yet we know that Jesus came. Yet we know that Krishna came. What about that? Well, he appears to be there. He is there. But nothing of this world will ever touch him. How do you know that? Because see, we will always judge people from our own standards. My standard is of good and bad. My standard is of freedom and bondage. My standard is of happiness and misery. Naturally, we think of Lord Krishna just like that. Only when you have reached that stage where you cross the empire of mind, you become one with consciousness, then you realize, oh, God is always beyond all this. More importantly, God is beyond being good, beyond bad. And God is never affected either by space or by time or by causation.